What's good? It's your boy Shay coming at you with another Big Brother update. As always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it everywhere, Reddit, Tumblr, because we've already given away the veto. But at 500, we're giving away an HOH robe. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The HOH robe. I want it for myself, but I gotta show love to y'all for showing love to me. I've had so much fun talking shit with y'all last couple days about this Cody shit, man. It's been hilarious. The myth of Cody, hashtag myth of Cody, it's grown to mass proportions. You know, it's kind of like he's starting to have like Chuck Norris type legends, you know. I mean, you can like Cody, but his gameplay was terrible. Let's keep it 100. We'll get back to that. Look, all right. So look, we got to get to a brand new episode of Grandmaster P, Flavor of Love, the Big Brother edition, aka Paul's Hoes. We saw Alex die a slow, painful death on a bed of spikes. She had a chance to dig herself out, but the pettiness overcame her like it always does. Instead of just like trying to talk to Josh and try to hammer out some deal, you still went down trying to defend Paul. Because her whole mindset was, well, I can't come at Josh like that because he's going to put Paul up, which I don't get being on the block worrying about somebody who's not on the block. You thought Josh would put Paul on the block? You couldn't have thought that. So that means that you stayed on the block truly for Christmas. And I told Alex, I'm like, Alex, Josh is your key. He's your key. He's your key to winning. Nope. I'm going to fake cry and I'm going to make him feel bad. Then I'm going to tell Paul that I fake cried. And then when Paul leaves out the room, I'm going to sit there and Paul goes and tells Josh, yeah, she's fake crying. Hey, Alex. The jig was up when they sent Whistlenut home. When Whistlenut got up there doing the Shannon dance and they sent his ass home, yeah, it wasn't no Shannon dance. It was just grab that motherfucking bag, get up out of there. That's when the jig was up. And I hate to keep rehashing it, but it's so absurd. Alex had to be the most absurd eviction of everybody. Because her blind side wasn't really even a blind side. She, in her mind, she thinks it was a blind side. No, Jason got blindsided. So once Jason got blindsided, how did you not think you were a part of that? It's like, yeah, now that we got pesky Whistlenut out, now we can go after the real target we looking for, Kevin. You fell for a backdoor Kevin plan, and we watched Kevin and BB Comics run out of time. I was like, man, Kevin's got to learn that shit in probably 3 or 4 times going down that zip line, because I don't know how Kevin was medically cleared to compete in that. Because, I mean, Kevin looked parched, man. Like, I mean, he was looking kind of Snoopish in that wife beater. Like, he kind of looked like Snoop, Baby Boy. It just wasn't long enough. But, I mean, he looked dehydrated. So, Kevin loses again. We see that Alex is a fucking idiot because Paul wins the veto. And then after Paul wins the veto, she's just sitting there, yes, yes. Final two, final two, final two. Paul's going to pull me off. Paul's going to pull me off. That's your fault. You dumb bitch. Hello? They sent your teammate home. They sent your teammate home and then told you to take a shot at somebody who had nothing to do with your teammate going home. And you did it. You should have known you were next. Then they put you on the block. This wasn't no backdoor. They put you on the block. Then you like, and so then first, you know, all week I've been speculating that because some things she said that she threw it. She didn't throw that shit. Paul just beat her or whatever. Cool, whatever. So you lost it and you still thought you were safe. You were never, the moment Jason went home, you should have gotten Josh, Paul, or Christmas out. And I'm telling you, that's the part that's gonna hurt Jason the most. Was the Raven part. Like, how did you think putting Kevin and Raven up was for me? I was on the block next to Kevin, so I know he ain't have shit to do with it. And Raven? What the fuck did Raven mastermind? This bitch got rough kneecap syndrome and she's gonna set up some type of elaborate plan to get somebody eliminated? And then I get to see the boldness of Christmas. This was some bold shit. Especially knowing that you can't compete. Like, they better make sure that Josh don't win this veto. Josh win this veto, you going home Christmas, and Josh would have took you. I think that Josh, if Christmas would have truly stayed true, if Christmas would have stayed the way she was to Josh when he was HOH, because remember how she was when he was HOH. That's when they really started getting their friendship. He became HOH, and then she was on some shit where she's like, this ain't Paul's HOH, this is your HOH, and all this shit. Now she's transformed from that at Christmas to cunt Christmas, who she's drill sergeant to this motherfucker. She's yelling at him, cussing at him, her and Paul slapping him, cornering him, telling him to yell at this person, telling him to yell at that person. And then he asked her, who are you taking to the final two? And you say, I don't know yet. This is Big Brother, motherfucker. People know that shit in real life, you know what I mean? When it's, you know, you can't use real life lies. Where it's like, you tell that lie in real life, and it's like, you know the person's lying, but you're cordial enough to be like, okay, I just ain't gonna press the issue. Well, in Big Brother, when you say shit like that, that's a definite answer. What do you mean you don't know yet? We in the goddamn final four. Like, because Alex is going home, so even though it's physically 5, we know we in the 4, and you still don't know yet? No, that sounds like you hedging. I'm not trying to hear you hedge. Because her real final 2 is Paul, period. She's in love with Paul. She's in love with Paul. How crazy is that shit that, you know, Christmas talked all this shit about every chick in the house. And Christmas has transformed. Because I just told you. She went from saying, Josh, this is your HOH to this is your HOH, not Paul's HOH. She transformed from that to, you better not ever question Paul. Paul, you don't ever go against the team and you need to snap out of it. And I mean, that motherfucker, I mean, she's like Debo now, man. You just hear that damn scooter squeaking in. Oh, shit. Here comes Sibo tucking your shit. Meanwhile, Grandmaster P is the most fakest motherfucker I've ever seen in my life. This is why I totally have no respect for Paul, and Paul's 100% fake and hustling. First of all, we know he's fake off the fact that Paul was nothing but a cult leader. Your favorite cult leader's favorite cult leader is Paul, aka Grandmaster P. He had a whole house believing that this whole congregation, we just one body family, and all we gotta do is get rid of the devil, Jessica and Cody. They got rid of the devil, and then they just started trying to make devils. Well, Mark and Elena, they kind of hung out with Cody, so they asses up out of here. Oh, you know, let's get this person. And it's just, he has this gang mentality on everybody on some straight Jim Jones shit. He's got everybody just following his ass around. And then he does all of this shit. Mind you, how many fake fights did Paul start? How many times did he have Josh go fight with people? He gave Josh the whole line to go tell Jessica, well, can you spell evicted? You know, all of that shit was Paul. The whole, them going at Kevin was Paul. And them going after Jason, that was Paul. Paul mega mind all of this shit, right? But I'm supposed to believe he was tearing up, crying, and he's hurt so much in his soul because he's not using the veto on Alex. But right before you played the veto competition, it was easy as fuck for you to lie to her. Yep, I'm winning this shit, pulling your ass right off. Then after the fact, yeah, you won, you pulling me up? Oh, it's the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Stop jury hustling, Paul. If anything's going to be Paul's downfall, it's going to be the jury hustling. Because the one part that I keep forgetting and thinking about with jury is, yeah, I'm pretty sure, I'm almost 100% Cody's voting for Paul, okay? But everybody else, what was their problem? Personal. Mark, oh, Cody lets me be who I am. Motherfucker, we playing Big Brother. You know, all these motherfuckers personal. Jason, he's sitting in the jury house because him and Alex, this super mega juggernaut in the house, they're sitting on the block thinking they're backdooring Kevin. Yeah, everybody hates Kevin, so we gonna backdoor Kevin. You wasting the HOH getting out Matt on some personal shit. Cause you put up two motherfuckers you had no business putting up, and then everybody tried to make you put out your friend, so you end up putting out a floater, and then you pissed everybody off in the house. You gone on a personal level. Alex, you gone on a personal level. Because they fooled you into thinking Kevin again, and you got rid of Raven to only go at Kevin again. And what ended up happening? Your wish came true. You were right on the block next to Kevin. You went home, bitch. Kevin did it again. He did it again. And the sweet part about Kevin is he gets unlimited chances. He's so bad that he gets unlimited chances in competitions. Like, he's going to the final 3. You telling me that Christmas is gonna keep Josh and put out Kev? Nah, I don't see that happening. But because if it does, This is my problem with this is the problem I got with everybody dissing Kevin. Why ain't y'all this hard on Christmas? Because the only matchup in the final 2 that'll make people scratch their heads who will win is Kevin against Christmas. You'll be scratching your head like, who do I give it to? Because Christmas ain't won shit but 2 HOHs she was literally handed. I've never seen somebody get handed 2 HOHs in a season. But she did it. And it wasn't from no skill of her own. First of all, Christmas wouldn't have got this far if she wouldn't have broke her foot. Because the first time she would have gotten some type of physical competition and flexed on everybody, oh no, get this bitch. No, 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 no. So her hurting herself was the best thing to happen to her. But I mean, we in this final 4, and I don't really see how it's gonna play out for sure. I mean, the optimal thing is going to be getting Kevin out, is what Christmas is thinking. But Josh, I think, is smart enough to know that if he don't win this veto, he's going home. So I think that it's going to be Josh for Christmas. Paul won the HOH knowing that he was going to be able to play in the next HOH. Like, if production didn't have a hand in this, goddamn, why y'all making it look like you did? You know what I mean? Like, y'all, okay, so you cut off the feeds. And then while the feeds are off, everything just falls into place for Paul like clockwork. Just did the same thing. I mean, every time, man. Every time somehow the shit turns off, turns back on, Paul's just in a perfect position. He didn't even touch the block all year. Now all of a sudden he's the motherfucking HOH. He's HOH, and he gets to play in the next HOH. So, man, I swore on Mario Brothers that star wears off at some point. He's just running. I mean, he's just running through that shit, man. His star never runs off, man. He's clearly using cheat codes. This is bullshit. He railroaded his way to this final 3. Let's go back. After Cody got evicted the first time, who the fuck's been the front runner by a mile? When Paul got the pendant of protection, it pretty much was a wrap. You were just hoping that somebody, and then once Cody took that shot, and then everybody in the house was like, fuck Cody. I was like, well, that was pretty much it, you know. And I mean, just like this shit with Paul tonight, like I hate to bring it back to him crying, but that crying shit was so fucking fake. You've masterminded everybody's demise, and then all of a sudden, the very first time that you actually get some blood on your hands that you actually had to publicly show, now all of a sudden you're heartbroken. Why ain't they? And then they cut out. They clearly didn't show the part where he went to try to talk to Alex after Veto, and Alex was like, didn't let him say shit. She wouldn't let him say nothing. But I bet if he would have got to have some tender moment. They framed this whole week for Paul on some bullshit. They made it seem like Paul was struggling with this. When he was crying with Christmas and that diary room, and that shit was right after fucking the Veto shit. So like after the Veto shit, because he wasn't gonna tell her. The one part they don't even show you is Josh was like, you better tell her or I'm going to blow up everything. And so that's why Josh is in trouble now. Is because Josh, he was bucking Paul more than just them diary rooms. Like he was doing everything he was told to do. Don't get it twisted. He's a punk. We'll get to him in his punk shit here in a minute. So you turn around and you have Paul crying as if what he did to Alex was just the final straw. The first time he had blood on his hands. And then he's sitting here, the way he's explained to Alex was some bullshit anyway. It was the weakest excuse ever. He's talking about goddamn jury votes. Well, I can't really vote for you because if I do this, then I'm gonna piss them off, and then you'll have this vote in the jury, and I won't have that vote in the jury. Wait, we supposed to have a final two. Final two means we get to the final two, and then that shit shakes out how it shakes. Final two does not mean we see to where we get, and then once I make an assessment of how, like, at this point, you'll have more of an advantage than me, then the final two is over. How the fuck am I supposed to believe you're heartbroken when that was your reasoning for breaking her heart and your heart, allegedly? Alex, stupid ass. I gotta give Alex props for apologizing to Holly. She's still probably gonna whoop your ass though, but I give her props for doing that shit. I mean, at this point, it's 3 hoes left. They waiting for Grandmaster P to give them a clock, and we'll see who Grandmaster P will select. The other thing I found interesting was Paul set Josh up the same way he set Christmas up. So you get this split vote, okay? Josh, why don't you go ahead and shake it up? Josh is the weakest motherfucker ever. He's the motherfucker that's sitting in jail for 25 years because he knew all the shit that his partner was doing was wrong the whole time. He knew it was wrong. He shouldn't have fucked with it, but he would not get out the car. Josh, for the last 3 weeks, saw all of this shit coming. And Paul made a mistake. Well, what should have been a mistake. Of course, Paul doesn't make mistakes. Paul's made so many badass moves that they just haven't capitalized on. It's ridiculous. But he splits the vote. And I'm like, well, I know Alex went home because Josh is on the block now. So I feel to believe. So, and it wasn't Josh and Alex. So I'm like, so what the fuck happened? Paul set you up and you took the bait again and you voted Alex out because in Paul's mind, that's what's going to really piss Alex off. Like, Paul be jury hustling to the end. I think if anything catches up to Paul, it's this jury hustling. It's going to be all these like lies and the fake diary room sessions when people left. And I think people would respect it more if you just made the fucking move and was just like, that's my move. I did it. Because you would look better in front of the jury for real. Whereas like you were snakish like you were, but at the same time, you're snakish, but you made the move and stood by the move. You really can't, like, that's how you're going to be looking in front of the jury because that's got to be his argument, right? He can't go up there and be like, I didn't do shit until I put Alex out. No, he's going to get up there and be like, I manipulated each and every one of you guys to do this. Ta-da. And like, that doesn't look as tough as being like, I made the game move. But I mean, they all got such incredible feelings for this man, Paul. That was the most awkward shit watching him celebrate that HOH. Trying to cry on Christmas on Christmas. Like, he don't like you. I'm just telling you. I can tell. Paul been laying up in the bed with you, you cuddling with him, and he ain't try to touch on you once? And he ain't had no affection in 2 months, and he talking about his girl and shit like Christmas. And then I saw a picture of Christmas, like her fiance she broke up with. That motherfucker looked just like Paul. I'm not even bullshitting. CBS, you did a terrible job. You did a terrible job. Terrible job with casting this year. You owe us one. You gotta put me in the house. You gotta put me in the house. You have to put me in the house. Because Paul's not pulling that shit. First of all, like, Paul wouldn't have been able to pull this shit in different houses. Like, as off the hook as Rachel was, Paul wouldn't have been able to pull this shit on Rachel. Because Rachel would have at some point questioned Paul and his motives. And then if Paul would have said something sideways to him, Brendan would have rolled up and tried to beat him up. And am I lying? Brendan used to try to fight girls over her. So, like, he would have folded Grandmaster P up into a fitted hat and put it on. This week has been weak. Super weak. I'm sitting around arguing with motherfuckers about Cody getting America's favorite player when that's more entertaining than the show. You turned off the feeds for a third time promising it would be worth it. I told you guys it wasn't going to be worth it. It wasn't. It wasn't worth it. We sat here and just watched motherfucking Alex just burn slow. I mean, she just sat there and slow roasted, just twisting her on the spit. Just. But what you gonna do? I'm still gonna watch the rest of it. I just want to see how it all plays out. And I mean, we know what the end game is. And the HOH that Paul won the night to go to the final three is the same one that he won last year. Same game and everything. And Christmas, you were trash. Like, I got to grade Kevin on a curve. He's 56 and y'all trying to have him take part in extensive memory games? Like, look, man, Kevin's trash. So don't be hitting me up talking about, man, I'm trying to defend Kevin. I'm not. I face facts. Kevin's trash. But if y'all trying to act like that, Kevin's gameplay, and I'm talking about the whole model. Kevin's social gameplay was stronger than Cody's just physical gameplay. Because Cody's just physical gameplay did what? It got him sent home. Kevin's social gameplay got him $25,000. Got him into the Final Four. It got him to know the halting hex. Nobody knew about that but Kevin. Kevin was in on everything. The only thing that changed for Kevin was Paul up and decided, well, we need a decoy to start getting people in our own team out. Because remember I said that I was like, I wonder how Paul's really going to... And that was the plan. The plan was to use Kevin the whole time. Which, that's why I didn't even get Cowboys logic to begin with. Your HOH, you got Matt and Raven on the block. Stupid. Okay, we're past that. Now, you had the opportunity. He won that veto too, right? Yeah, he won that veto. So he had the opportunity to backdoor Kevin. Well, you didn't backdoor Kevin. And then the very next week, you're like, well, I don't give a fuck. It's me or Kevin. Kevin got to go. Well, you should have just fucking backdoored Kevin. You didn't backdoor Kevin. Then the very next week, you was like, fuck Kevin. I packed up all my shit just so I didn't make Kevin feel like you didn't even want to like talk to Kevin no more. None of that shit. You just stood up to bat for him. No half measures. You stood up to bat for him in the form of pissing Paul off by not backdooring him. Then you still the very next week was like, I don't want to fuck with Kevin because Kevin might get me in trouble because he's the real target. And Alex takes some blame, but Alex still has no clue what the fuck's going on. She thinks that, like, between the veto ceremony, or between Paul winning the veto, and then when he came and talked to her, that's when it all fell apart. No, it fell apart when they told y'all to put up Matt and Raven. Who in the house thought that? They were weak. Because if it was Paul, and it was just luck of the draw, really. Because if it was Christmas being the HOH during that Matt and Raven, he would have told her to put up Matt and Raven, and then he would have teamed up with Alex and Jason, and they would have got Christmas out the next week on that same shit. That's why I remember when I told you I was like, Paul's ping ponging back and forth just so he can see who's in. That's why I kept giving Paul floater of the week. And he floated through this shit perfectly. And so once they got Jason out, then he's like, man, then it's easy for me. Now he can play the Christmas and Josh. Like, man, I told y'all, man, I've been loyal to y'all from the jump, man. I told you, us to the final three, us to the final three. It was easy. Once he saw Jason was gone, then what choice was there to make? I got Kevin whooped. So Kevin's going wherever I tell him to go. I don't really give a fuck about Raven at this point. I could take her, you know what I mean? But... And Paul would have. If Alex would have just went ahead and took that fucking shot at Christmas, or Josh, Paul would have pulled Raven and tried to make a final three with them. Because they would have got Josh or Christmas out, whichever one was left. They'd have went after Alex, and then Paul would have went with the three of them against them. Like, see what he just did? He did what I told y'all he was going to do. He was going to dwindle it down, and then what happened? He wins the final four HOH. Guaranteeing himself final three against two fucking losers. Obviously, his toughest competition is who? Josh. His ass is on the block, and he's most likely going home over this shit. This shit wasn't even hard this year, man. It was just like, y'all made it so personal, and Paul figured out how to use Kevin. Like, we thought that he used Josh. He used Josh a whole lot. But he got to a point where he switched. Like, I don't know if production was like, look, Josh's turn. Because then he turned and was like, yeah, fuck Kevin. And then now, like, he's just floating through. Like, Paul parted this. And he did this for Christmas. It's like, Paul just, man, Paul's out here like fucking Magic Johnson. Oh, don't worry, Kevin. Get up on that block, man. Don't. Shh. Sit in your room, chill, read your Bible. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Now, all the way to this point where he's like, yeah. So now, Josh is on the block. And then Josh is going to fuck around and start this fight with Kevin. Like, they getting ready to basically play a whole week of Big Brother, like, tonight. Like, apparently they've been already doing it. Like, this shit, this scheduling behind this shit's stupid. And I think there's a show Friday. So... I'm not really understanding what the fuck CBS is doing. They're rushing this shit. I do believe they had to push one of the episodes up because of some football scheduling where it's like, how the fuck do you not have the football scheduling set? You guys do Big Brother every year. They do football every year. Why the fuck weren't y'all on the same page? That's neither here nor there. I think a lot of it has to do with they were confident having it where it was scheduled when they thought the season was better. But, like, the fees have been shit. They've been shitty. Like, oh, here's one thing I wanted to ask you guys. Get in the comments and let me know. Now, I saw on the feeds, you can go back and watch every single season of Big Brother. After this season, between seasons, man, I think I'm going to do one. I'm going to still do other videos and do other shit. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be reviewing, but I think I'm going to do another season and start, I pretty much do an episode every night. All the way to the end. So if you're down with that, get in the video or get in the comments and let me know. I may do like 1 or 2 episodes at a time, you know, just cause I pretty much will know what's going on. So yeah, get in the comments and let me know. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel. Alex took her ass home. She cried about it. She came out with her petty hat, drinking her Coke. Josh got to cut somebody's throat on live TV, and then somehow Paul's the victim. CBS totally framed it like Paul's the victim. Paul's been nothing but good to people. I can't save everybody. Everybody wants me to... No, what happened was you lied to everybody. Like, you can't be like, I'm gonna save you, and then when it's time for you to save me, you go, I can't save you, and then now you're the victim. Everybody wants me to save them. Shut the fuck up, Grandmaster P. This is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. Every time for me to get to where I needed to be, I had to choose me. But I mean, yeah, you did, Paul, but you didn't have to do the shit like you did. You chose to do it like that. You played a super grimy game. The moment you start having people start fake fights with other people, that's grimy. That's a whole nother level of grimy, and it's not even called for. Because like that fake fight with Josh was utterly uncalled for, because if Alex really paid attention to it, then she would have nominated Josh for Christmas. That's the whole reason you wanted that fight. You wanted that fight to ensure one of them went on the block, but then once you said Kevin or Raven and she went for it, he's like, fuck it, I got my final 3, we'll sweep her ass out. The only reason Paul got that veto to use the blood, which they not going to bring up and let him talk about, the only motherfucking reason Paul did that shit was because he was scared if Josh won that veto, he was getting backdoored. Simple as that. Why would he be scared of getting backdoor? Because motherfucking production, man. I'm telling you, the moment Josh said, what's that? As soon as he said that, then CBS was like, nope, 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 nope. And then so much shit is in the dark, so, you know, we don't have the feeds to put together with none of the shit leading up to the ceremony or to the eviction. You know, she found out the next thing you know, she's gone on Tuesday. You know, they told us she was leaving on Wednesday, but we know she's been gone since last night. Just off the fact, because did you notice at the very beginning? It was a little thing I did notice. Alex, when she started, remember the show starts, she's like, house guests, come to the room. What did she tell Alex and Kevin? Don't sit on the block. That's because they still hadn't done the veto competition for us yet, so they had to sell it to make sure that we didn't know what Paul was going to do. But then, even before we saw the ceremony, the actual ceremony, we saw the veto. Before we saw the actual ceremony, Alex and Kevin were sitting in the nomination chairs. So, I mean, that's why all this shit be looking like production. Because it's a little obvious shit like that where it's like, I don't understand why you had to cut the feeds off for that shit. And then now it's like, you're going to do a whole week of Big Brother. And it's like, instead of doing a double eviction, you're doing a whole week of Big Brother in 2 days with the feeds off. And then whatever you show us is what happened. They didn't even show us the nominations. We saw Paul get HOH. We know that nominations were already done. They didn't show us nominations. The feeds are supposed to come back at midnight. I'm going to be on the feeds. That's why I was able to knock this out early tonight. I didn't have no feeds to watch after the show to, you know, try to catch up. But I'm going to get on the feeds tonight, but how long are the feeds really going to be on? Like a few hours, and then fuck around tomorrow, they're going to be on just long enough for us to see something. Maybe we'll know veto winner, maybe not. But they just going to be on just long enough before they're going to turn them off again for the live eviction show tomorrow. Then after tomorrow, it's going to be the final 3. And I mean, this shit's getting ready to be boring, man. Paul just skating to the end, man. And I still ain't voting for Cody. Cody was a punk, too. Cody was scared of Paul, too. You just won Battle Back. You just won an HOH. You just won Veto. And you got a Halton Hex in your pocket. And you put up Josh and Ramsey's. Stop telling me that Cody was a leader. Oh, Cody, I'll ride with Cody because he was the only one that wasn't. He was a leader and not a follower. No. You don't get to rewrite history. Cody played a shitty game. His girl used a halting hex, and then she went home. She could have not used it and let you go home. She used it, and the next week she went home. And how did you defend her honor while she was gone? As soon as you didn't win the competition, you went and sat in the room. You weren't confronting Paul. You didn't run up on Paul. You waited until the motherfucking eviction ceremony and then talk shit and try to throw your little shit up there, and then they did the thumbs down shit to you, and then you just walked out of the house. Like, you didn't. Your social game was so bad that Kevin was the better game player. You can't name me one game play that Cody made after trying to put Paul up that one time. Name his best game play. I'll wait. Because he didn't do shit. He got Jillian out with his HOH. Like, you got to look at boys' resumes. He was HOH twice, and who'd he get out? Jillian. And then, okay, so he wasn't HOH the second time. It was Jessica. She's HOH. But that's his HOH. So don't be hitting me saying, that wasn't Cody's HOH. A Jessica HOH is a Cody's HOH. She said, I can't wait until we get our room back. When Josh wanted to talk to Jessica, Cody came outside and said, nah, she ain't trying to talk, bro. It's over. So, which was a stupid move. When they were in power, they were stupid. All they wanted to do was lay up in bed with each other. They didn't try to cut deals with nobody. They didn't work on shit. And they just sat around and was like, we hate Josh. We telling the whole house we hate Josh, but we don't fuck with none of y'all. We just letting y'all know who we don't fuck with, so y'all better get them out. Oh, y'all getting out Ramsey? Ramsey's told y'all, if y'all don't take me off the block, y'all won the fucking veto. Ramsey said, if you don't take me off the block, I'm going home. All you had to do was use the veto on Ramsey's and put up Paul, and you would have guaranteed at minimum you would have got your target out. If Josh is your real target, at minimum you would have got your target out, and if not, you would have got Paul out. And if you didn't get Paul out and Paul came at you next week, so the fuck what? You're sitting on a halting hex. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Stop rewriting history with Cody, man. You gotta stop rewriting history with Cody. If you like Cody, fine. Vote for Cody. You can vote for who you want. But you're not going to sit here and start lying and telling me that Cody's one of the greatest Big Brother players ever and he just was shafted. And he got a lot of help from production as well. So don't get it twisted. Because I told you, I still don't think that. How the hell did Jessica win the halting hex? Everybody in the world was against him. Nobody got against Paul. The world didn't shift against Paul until it was like, okay, once the Cody shit was over, then they was like, well, who are we going to beat up and bully on next? You know, you had a couple people that did flip on Paul then, but it wasn't everybody. So at that point, because America had just gave Paul a power, then they turned around and gave Christmas a power piggybacking off Paul, all to go at them. I don't get it, man. You can like who you like. Stop rewriting history. Cody was a shitball Big Brother player. That's why he went home twice. He went home twice. He wasn't even able to come back and get off the radar. He came back and he did the same shit that got him sent home the first time. And then Paul had him laid up in the room for a week. Not so tough to me. All right, man. I'm getting up out of here, man. Make sure you like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Share it everywhere. We getting up to 500, man. Once we get there, your boy is going to give away the HOH robe. And as always, your boy is... I'm probably lying.